This is a 2004 Chevy Tahoe. The oil pressure gauge and the fuel gauge quit working. I am going to remove the gauge cluster and see what's going on. There are 4 bolts or screws. They hold the gauge cluster in, 2 on each side. They are 7mm. I had to go and buy the socket. I will remove these bolts and try to get this gauge cluster out. What drives these gauges is the step motors. I already bought these step motors just to be safe. Hopefully there is just a broken solder joint or something. To remove this cover, there is these latches. They have mechanical stop and they stop little bit below 0. This one is stuck. The one for the oil doesn't move. It moved now, but it was stuck. They have about 340 degree of movement. I'm just spinning. Once it hit the mechanical stop, I'm spinning it to free it a little bit. And pull it up. I'm putting the screwdriver underneath this needle and pulling it up. It is not necessary to remove the label sheet from the plastic frame underneath it. I thought there may be something under the label, hold them together or secure the frame to the board. That's why I removed it. If you are duplicating what I'm doing, you don't have to separate the plastic label from the plastic frame underneath it. There's these latches and they register over here to keep this in place. I put the multimeter on ohm. These step motors, they have two coils. One here and one here. And they read on this new one about 260 ohm. And they're not connected to each other. So the way I'm going to test these step motors, I have 292 ohm over here, 295, and that's on the fuel step motor, or that's the oil, that's the one was stuck. This is the fuel. So right here. They read right and they didn't work, so that probably something else. But I know one of them was stuck, so I'll go get the magnifier and inspect all these solder joints. There is a few hot spots on the traces, but they're all connected. I am going to replace the step motors and see what happened. Hopefully that's the issue. The original step motors out of the board, they measure 320 ohm. The new one measure 260. Hopefully this will not be an issue. I'll see, I'll try them out. These two step motors, they are the original. I bought 6 step motors of eBay for $16. They have different part number. I'll take still pictures of the original and the new one to show better in case somebody interested in duplicating my work. You need to be very careful when you desolder the step motor. I have a suction device to desolder parts from boards, however I couldn't find it. That's why I use the reflow station. I set it to 250 degrees Fahrenheit and I just apply heat on the pins and I was able to pull the step motors out. So be careful, don't apply too much heat. You may try to use like wig, use the copper wig and try to remove the solder and remove the step motors if you don't have the desoldering device. Just be careful, you don't want to apply too much heat by using heat gun and this may cause other parts on the board to come off. So be careful, only apply the heat or concentrate the heat on the pins, the one that you want to remove. This over here, the traces of the new step motor. I think that's it. I'm going to put it back together and then I'll try it out. This latch over here should be pointing down. Before I bolt it in place, I'm going to test it. Everything working great. I'm just going to bolt it down and then I'll put the cover. This was an easy fix. Thank you for watching.